Hey everyone, today I've got your Hotel Transylvania 2 movie review. Dracula and his buddies are back, and this time there is new blood rising in the family. As far as the story goes, this animated sequel is opening the hotel doors once again to now humans, and just in time for those in-laws to show up. If you don't know what I mean, you probably might want to go back watching Hotel Transylvania and then go watch this one. I will say that I actually was almost hesitant on seeing this movie at first. I hadn't seen the previous Hotel Transylvania, so I had to quickly watch that movie before going ahead and watching its sequel. And let's just say that I was not that impressed with the movie, but there are some things that did catch my eye. As far as the casting goes, now I'm actually not really surprised by the amount of comedic actors that are in this movie, starting with Adam Sandler, who I know a lot of people don't really like in movies nowadays, but considering that he plays the voice of Dracula, I feel like he does slightly pull it off, yet it almost feels like a mockery of it, and I wasn't completely impressed with the character. And he's got a daughter who Selena Gomez plays the voice of, and now she is starting a family. Like, I never suspected her to be in a movie like this. You've got Andy Samberg in this movie, and, you know, his character, of course, like, I could barely recognize who he was. But, of course, there are a few actors in this movie that I know, and I actually did forget their characters just now, but they are other comedic actors out there. You've got Kevin James, Steve Buscemi, and David Spade. Some of them I'd like to mention rather than all of them, who I'm not usually impressed with, but I know that they have worked with Adam Sandler in the past, so maybe it's just a coincidence that they're all just collaborating once again. Things that I did like about this movie: I enjoyed this movie for one reason was because of some of the references that were a part of, like, today. Like, people would understand them, and so I'd like that because then I can sort of relate to watching this movie. And I did like the cuteness of this movie and how clever it was trying to be. And I feel like obviously it's a step up from the first Hotel Transylvania movie, which I feel like is almost forgettable. Unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie, I was bored to tears watching the first film, and surprisingly, I wasn't like that here. I feel like that it's kind of not really adding much of a stretch, because there are some things that I feel like kind of reminded me of the first film, and maybe they were sort of like rehashing it, so maybe it's not as good of a movie in that regard. To add on to who was being cast in this movie, the jokes in this movie, some of them were just not that funny, especially coming from some characters' mouths, and I feel like most of them were from Adam Sandler, because really I don't remember like anything that anybody said in this movie, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why this movie could also be forgettable. Thankfully, this movie was short, because I was gonna think if this movie was going to be like longer than I was expecting it to be, I was just like gonna stop watching it altogether. I just feel like this movie I could care less about, but it did have some good parts to it, so at least I wasn't going to completely give up on this movie. So overall, I would say the Hotel Transylvania 2 was kind of surprising. A movie like this, of course, like, you can definitely take your family to see this movie. Your kids will definitely enjoy this, so I would recommend it to them. And I would give this 3 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Hotel Transylvania 2. How does this compare to the first Hotel Transylvania? And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.